Mary, the most disturbing video that we are seeing, and quite frankly, I think a lot of us, when we first saw it, we were hoping it wasn't real, is of the plane falling out of the sky. I do want to have you look at it and also listen to it so that you can tell us what you see in it and also what you're hearing. This is, again, disturbing video. Let's watch. How are you analyzing that, Mary?
Well, there are so many clues in that video, and just like you, when I first saw it, I was questioning whether this was accurate or not. But you know, sadly, I've worked other crashes where this has happened. This is clearly a stall, what's called an aerodynamic stall. There's not enough airspeed and air flowing over the wings to keep the plane in the sky. At this point where we see it in the video where the plane is falling, the pilots would have had no ability to control that plane, so they could not have directed it away from houses or populated areas. When you're at that point in the fall, you have lost all control and controllability and surfaces of the aircraft. And we also heard, you're very, good to note, to listen, because we also know that the engines are still running. So the plane did not stall, did not lose its airspeed because it lost its engines. We have one more clue, and this is hugely important. Some of the radar tracings indicate that the aircraft had been flying throughout most of its flight at over 200 knots, 202 knots. And at this particular point, and remember, just a minute after this happened, it took a minute for all this to happen, to fall and to crash, it was going only 40 knots. I mean, not even a very small, tiny two-seater plane can stay flying in most cases at 40 knots. So for some reason, we know it had dramatically lost its speed, and that just won't keep this plane in the air. So we already know that as a clue as well. The question is why.